Hello everyone, today we're going to learn how to apply order of operation. Before we start, I just want to remind you what you have learned in middle school. So most probably you learned the order of operation along with PEMDAS. So I believe everybody knows that, but I will tell you what they stand for. So we have a key concept in here. It basically tells us 4 different steps. Basically it's telling us the PEMDAS, but there's a little difference between PEMDAS and these steps. So probably you figured that out when you apply PEMDAS in any order of operation. So step 1, we have to evaluate expressions inside grouping symbol. So grouping symbol means parentheses, so P stands for parentheses. Second step, you have to evaluate powers. So power is actually exponents. We can use also exponents. So E stands for exponents. Step 3 says multiply and divide from left to right. This is important. Probably we didn't have that detail in PEMDAS, but as you see that basically multiplication and division are together, but you have to just perform whichever is on the left. Then same thing for addition and subtraction. So whichever comes first means whichever is on the left, you have to perform that operation first. Let's move on the example, then we're going to see the difference easily in the example. So here's the example. So we can skip the first step because we don't have any grouping symbol. Then let's move on to step 2. Step 2 says evaluate powers first. Then we only have one power operation in here, so I need to write that it is valid. So I divide 27 by 9, multiply by 2, subtract 3. Then as you see that we have division and multiplication. So whichever is on the left, we have to perform that first. So division is coming first, so we have to perform division. 27 divided by 9 equals 3 times 2 minus 3. Then 3 times 2 equals 6. 6 minus 3 equals 3. So the answer of this operation equals 3. Next thing is about grouping symbols. So we can have two different of grouping symbols. One is parentheses, the second one brackets. So they both indicate that operations inside the grouping symbols should be performed first. For example, to evaluate 2 times 4 plus 6, you multiply first, then add. To evaluate 2 times 4 plus 6, you add first, then multiply. To perform this, we have to add 4 and 6 first, then multiply by 4. In the second example, we have 3 different examples with grouping symbols. We need to evaluate those expressions. First one, we only have a parentheses, and inside the parentheses we only have an operation. So we need to operate that operation first, then we have to do outside of the parentheses. So 7 times 13 minus 8 equals 5, then 7 times 5 equals 35. This is the answer of the first part. Second part, we have a grouping symbol. Inside the grouping symbol we have 2 different operations. One is power, second one is addition. Inside a grouping symbol, if you have more than one operation, basically we go back to our steps and we have to follow the steps inside a grouping symbol as well. So we have to perform the power first. So 3 squared equals 9, 9 plus 1. Now I only have one operation left inside the parentheses, then I can add them up, which is equal to 10, then 24 minus 10 equals 14. Then the answer of the second part is 14. When we look at this third question, we have 2 grouping symbols, one pair of parentheses and one pair of brackets. And when we look at the operations inside the bracket, we see a subtraction and parentheses. So as I said, we have to follow the same order of operation inside the grouping symbols as well. So we have to perform the subtraction first, addition first. What's the sum of 8 and 13, which equals to 21, then 21 and 30 are in the same grouping symbol. Then we have to perform the operation, which equals to 30 minus 21 equals 9. So I have to multiply 2 by 9. Answer equals to 18. So we're done with the second example. Let's move on to the second page. In the second page, we have another type of grouping symbols we call the fraction bars. Basically, fraction bars shows us a division. But if you have an operation on the numerator and denominator, they have to be performed first, then we have to apply the division. As you see in this example, 8 and 4 are added first, then we subtract 2 from 5, then we found these answers, then we perform the division last. In the third example, we have something like the example given on the explanation in here. So we have an expression here and we know the value of x. So we have to just substitute 4 for x in our expression. Then we have to start to perform all the expressions, all the operations with the order of operation. So fraction bar is our grouping symbol. So basically it divides into two different groups. Numerator, let's operate the numerator first. 9 times 4, 36. Then in the denominator we have a multiplication and another grouping symbol. So we have to perform the numbers inside the parentheses first. Then we can continue to calculate the value of denominator, which is 18. Then 36 divided by 18 equals 2. So we found the answer of example 3. Now we have the last example here. Normally it should be example 4, but somehow it's example 2. Now, so we're a problem, just explaining a situation here. We have to find the total cost. A group of 12 students volunteers to collect litter for 1 day. So let's underline the important key points. 12 students. A sponsor provides 3 juice drinks and 2 sandwiches for each student and pays $30 for the trash bag. The sponsor's cost in dollars is given by the expression. So 12 times, which is the number of students, 3 times J. So what is J in here? J is the cost of the juice of drinks, since each student is getting 3 juice plus 2 sandwich times 2 times sandwiches plus 30. So we have two variables, J and S, and they represent two different things, and we also have their values are given in the question. The cost of the juice is $1.25. The cost of sandwich is equal to $2. So we have to substitute them in our expression, then we have to perform the operations. Okay, now let's start. As you see that we have a grouping symbol, parentheses. Inside the parentheses we have 2 multiplications and 2 additions. Let's perform the multiplications first. So 3 times $1.25 equals $3.75 plus 2 times 2, 4 plus 30. Then I'm done with the multiplication inside the parentheses. Next, addition. So we have to add 3.75 by 4, which equals 7.75 plus 30. Now we still have more than one operation. Multiplication comes first. 12 times 7.75 equals 93 plus 30 equals $123. It's going to cost $123 to the sponsor. In the last page we have guided practice. You can access the PDF form of guided practice and the link above the video. So click on the video and click on the link, and open up the file in PDF. You can either print out and complete the work inside and complete the work on the paper, or you can do on a separate piece of paper. You have to return that tomorrow to me. So I'll see you tomorrow.